Poor Tom Brady. Just think about the injustice it takes for us to utter such words about a 4-time Super Bowl champion, arguably the greatest quarterback ever, and, let's not forget, husband to Giselle and one half of the world's highest earning power couple. Leave it to Roger Goodell, we guess. But the fact is, the charade known as Deflategate finally appears to be over after Brady dropped his legal fight Friday and accepted a 4-game ban to begin the season. What does it mean for fantasy football players? Why, I'm glad you asked. Hello, Arkush from Pro Football Weekly here, helping to sort through the fantasy implications of Brady's 4-game suspension to begin 2016. Number 1, slotting Brady. I dropped him 14 spots, or a little more than one round in my latest top 100, to 73rd overall. Colleague John Solly lowered him 10 spots to 62nd. In other words, if you were already intent on drafting Brady, fantasy's number 2 overall scorer last year, you should stay the course and enjoy a potential minor discount. Remember, this is a man who carries fantasy football teams, and if you weather his 4-game absence by winning a game or two, he'll still have plenty of time to do the heavy lifting when it starts to really matter. Number 2, what about Jimmy G? Let's be clear, drafting Jimmy Garoppolo, who will likely start the first 4 games in Brady's absence, isn't like handcuffing Le'Veon Bell or Eddie Lacy with D'Angelo Williams or James Starks. There's simply too much depth under center around the league to roll with the unproven Garoppolo, especially considering the defenses he'll face. At Arizona and 3 at home versus Miami, Houston, and Buffalo. Want a silver lining with the Brady suspension? He'll avoid the vulnerability of facing former teammate Chandler Jones and James Betcher's aggressive scheme in the desert, plus several of the NFL's most feared defenders in J.J. Watt and Ndamukong Suh and Muhammad Wilkerson behind a transitioning offensive line. Remember how last season ended with Brady on his back? Yeah, this absence could actually make him fresher for your fantasy roster come week 5. Also worth noting, Brady's 3 lowest yardage totals of the season came last year against Miami, Houston, and the Jets. Number 3. So who to target the first 4 weeks? We know Jimmy G isn't your answer the first month of the season, so who is? Here are a few reasonably priced backups with manageable opening slates. Kirk Cousins, with an ADP of 126th overall, has 3 home games against Pittsburgh's retooled secondary and 2 woefully undermanned defenses in Cleveland and Dallas, with only the new-look Giants on the road. Cousins is playing for a long-term deal and could pick up where he left off in a breakthrough 2015 regular season. Matthew Stafford has an ADP of 144th overall, and the Colts, Titans, Packers, and Bears to begin the season. He had an 11-2 touchdown-to-interception ratio against his 2 division foes last year, and the Titans and Colts are averaged at best defensively. Stafford finished last season on fire and should get more help from his backfield and O-line. Matt Ryan, ADP of 152nd overall. Ryan doesn't have the easiest slate, but we've pegged him as undervalued since March and think he can navigate road trips to Oakland and New Orleans sandwiched between hosting the Buccaneers and Panthers. Ryan will be a lot more comfy in year 2 of the Kyle Shanahan offense and could get back to being a valuable fantasy asset. Number 4, what does Brady's ban mean for the Patriots' skill position players? Rest assured, Gronk is gonna Gronk, but what about the rest of New England's supporting cast? The 2 guys we're concerned about are Julian Edelman and LeGarrette Blount. It'll be impossible for Garoppolo to match the rapport between Brady and his favorite slot weapon, and the Pats aren't likely to have as many goal line looks for touchdown-dependent Blount. Essentially, the guys who can win with physicality and creativity, Gronk and Dion Lewis, should be less affected than the ones who benefit most from Brady's brilliance. At the end of the day, Brady foregoing his legal battle means he'll miss the first 4 games rather than potentially missing more meaningful late-season action. Another glass-half-full perspective for fantasy owners. What do you think of today's game plan? Let us know in the comments and by liking and sharing, and be sure and stay tuned for plenty more fantasy football for thought at Pro Football Weekly. Thanks for watching.